going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Like I promised before, I said I'll be making more videos on the little CRX I have. So today I'm going about taking out the B16 Type R out of it. Like I said, I want to redo the engine bay, so that's what I'll be doing today. I'll be pulling out the engine so I can get into that bay and get it all painted up, refresh, maybe shave it a little bit more. Since the car sat for so long, it got a bunch of scrapes and everything in the bay since it just sat in storage for a few years. So it's currently real cold outside. You guys can see 23 degrees. That's why I'm actually in here doing the intro, that way it won't be so cold. I will be putting on my jackets and get to it. Alright, so since my engine bay is already pre-shaved, I really don't got much to pull out. So all I gotta do is pull out the wiring harness, the 2 fuel lines, the 3 engine mounts, break the axles off, and maybe this traction bar, I will take it out, that way I can slide it out. Because my plan is to sit the engine on here, on this cart, so I could roll it right out under the chassis. I got my Harbor Freight cherry picker. That's what I'll be using. I'm also not going to drain the radiator. I'm just going to try to pull it all at once. Since I'm getting rid of this radiator, I'm actually going to tuck it, and I have another one for that, so I'm not too concerned with this one. So all I'll do is just pull it all out, all in one piece. Like I said, put it on that cart and roll it right out. Also, the other thing, I have to disconnect, it's dark, but the back of the header, that's pretty much it. Should go pretty easy. And let me get started. Alright, so I ran into a little problem. I can't find one of my tools, and what it is, it's a tie rod spreader, the tie ball, that little fork. So what it is, it has 2 forks, and it's thin at the tip, and as it goes farther, it gets thicker. So what I'm thinking, I found this tool. It's like a chisel or something, but it does have that slight angle as well. So I'm gonna try to use this. I'm actually gonna jack the tie ball screw with some wood with the jack, and I'm gonna lift it up. That way the lower control arm actually has force, and when I beat on it, hopefully it breaks loose. So hopefully that works for me, and I won't have to go buy that tool again, because I hate buying tools when I already have it, because then I end up finding them and it's a waste of money. I mean, I could probably go rent it out at an AutoZone, but let's try to do this fast right now with what I can. See if it works. So we're using this 2x4 to pry on that screw with the jack. It's all about being creative sometimes. Get the job done. There it is. Alright, so all I did was push down the lower control arm and slide the axle right underneath. That way I can still leave it all hooked up, and I don't have to worry about that part. Also, another thing that I do is I screw everything back to where it goes. So I put the bolt back into the fork of the strut, the axle, and the lower ball joint. So everything's where it needs to be. That way I won't lose anything. Loose. You guys can see I did remove the screws from down here. I connect this brace, so it should be ready to slide right out as soon as it gets changed. Alright, so now I'm going to remove the linkage, but I don't want to remove this one because it has that pin and it's always a pain in the ass. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna disconnect this one. Here's the one that connects to the shifter, the bottom one, and I'll leave that top one on there. And then disconnect the exhaust. Alright, so everything underneath is ready to go. All I need to do is get that cherry picker, get it all strapped up with straps, make sure it's going to fit in that little on this roller part that I made. It's got 2 rotating casters in the front and 2 solid ones in the back, so it should help me out pulling it out of here. So I will move it to the left once it's on the cart. I'll move it to the left, that way this engine mount will actually clear and won't be banging too much. And then also it has to come out a little bit, that way I don't mess up my brake lines that I have there. And other than that, all I need is fuel lines disconnected and the harness. It's pretty much out. Normally I wouldn't be doing stuff so ghetto like this, using these straps, and it's probably not the best idea because all I'm doing is tying knots to them. I normally have one of those engine balancers and I'll chain it all up, but since I always let people borrow this in the middle of a transaction, I never got that thing back and I lost it, and it is what it is, you know, when you let people borrow your tools. You gotta be willing to take that risk. I mean, it's kind of my fault for not keeping track of it, but it should work out. So I thought I was gonna get away with just removing these 2 nuts, but what I ended up doing was running the strap around the engine mount, so I'll just remove this bolt, 1 single bolt, that way it just lowers. And then on this one I just got the strap around the engine mount, so that's good. Right now it's a little loose on this side, so that's good. That way the transmission can lower down first, give me that angle so I can slide it out and move it away from everything here. So now I just got to remove these fuel lines. So now I'll just push the plugs out and it should be ready to come out. And that is it. Full engine harness out. I should be able to take off these bolts now and lower it down. So there it is. It already dropped. Since this side was looser than the other side, all it did was drop. So it kind of dropped and the strap caught it. The other one's still bolted on. I forgot to press record on the camera, so I didn't catch this one. So I forgot I gotta remove this brace back here. So this is the brace that mounts to the engine and the rear mount. Alright, so the engine's down now. It's actually on the cart already. You can see the headers, it's actually on there. So there it is. It's ready to be pulled out now. I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna get underneath and make sure the linkage is good. It won't get caught on anything. And then I'll start twisting it out, make sure everything comes out good. So far everything's looking good. Ready to start doing some work. I'm actually excited to redo this. You know, like I said, this car's been down for so long, and all I did was, you know, like a little quick touch up when I did the first paint job, since I just used that Rustoleum. But yeah, let me get this going. So I guess I will remove this engine mount because it's not letting me clear since the bay is so small. It's actually hitting the headlight support. So I will remove this one, see if that helps. If not, then I will just end up jacking up the whole car. So I am gonna have to jack the car up because I'm barely clearing here. And I got all these things hitting on the side. So I will just jack the whole body up. Should be quick. Engine is out. So there it is, that little cart I created. That actually came in handy. My intentions weren't even to use it for this, but it came in handy for this. The main reason I didn't want to remove the axles was because I didn't want the oil to leak out. So that's why I decided to just leave them on there. Should be good. There it is. nice and clean. Time to make it even cleaner. So the engine's out. So now I'm gonna end this video here. Thanks for watching and stay tuned. I'll be making more videos. I'll be trying to make as much videos as I can on this engine bay shade. Maybe little things I run into, the hardest things. I mean, the EF is real tough because it's all cramped up, and that's why I'm kind of doing this. So I appreciate you guys if you guys stuck around to the end of this video. Stay tuned, and I'll talk to you guys later.